everything is falling apart, he maintains a level of control that allows him to respond effectively rather than react impulsively. This distinction is crucial in mastering the game of the mind. When faced with a crisis, Batman takes a moment to assess the situation, weighing his options and considering the best course of action. He doesn't let his emotions dictate his responses. Instead, he uses them as tools to inform his decisions. This is the essence of intentional action. The fifth strategy that elevates Batman to a mental giant is the practice of mindfulness and presence. In a world filled with distractions and chaos, being fully present is a superpower in itself. Batman embodies this principle by focusing entirely on the task at hand, whether it's a confrontation with a villain or a moment of reflection in the Batcave. He doesn't let his mind wander to past failures or future uncertainties. He immerses himself in the present moment. This level of focus allows him to perform at his best, making split-second decisions with clarity and precision. Mindfulness is not just about meditation. It's about cultivating awareness in every aspect of life. When you think like Batman, you learn to tune out the noise and distractions that can cloud your judgment. You become more attuned to your thoughts, emotions, and surroundings, enabling you to respond to challenges with greater effectiveness. This practice of being present also fosters resilience, as it helps you to remain grounded even in the face of adversity. The sixth strategy that Batman employs is the power of visualization. Visualization is a technique used by many successful individuals, and Batman is no exception. He mentally rehearses his actions before executing them, envisioning every detail of his plans. This mental practice not only prepares him for the challenges ahead, but also boosts his confidence. When you visualize success, you create a mental blueprint that guides your actions and reinforces your belief in your abilities. Batman's ability to visualize outcomes allows him to anticipate potential obstacles and devise strategies to overcome them. This foresight is what sets him apart from others who may react without thinking. By incorporating visualization into your own life, you can enhance your performance in various situations, whether it's a presentation, a sports event, or a difficult conversation. The seventh and final strategy I want to highlight is the importance of continuous learning and adaptation. Batman is not just a master of the mind, he is also a lifelong learner. He constantly seeks knowledge, whether it's through studying martial arts, analyzing criminal psychology, or understanding the latest technology. This commitment to growth enables him to adapt to new challenges and refine his strategies over time. In the game of the mind, stagnation is the enemy. To think like Batman, you must embrace a mindset of curiosity and openness to new ideas. This means being willing to learn from your experiences, seeking feedback, and adjusting your approach as needed. The world is constantly changing, and those who fail to adapt will be left behind. In conclusion, the strategies that make Batman a master of the mind are not just for fictional characters. They are applicable to anyone seeking to enhance their mental resilience and effectiveness. By embracing the dichotomy of control, practicing emotional detachment, preparing for worst-case scenarios, taking intentional action, cultivating mindfulness, visualizing success, and committing to continuous learning, you can transform your own mental game. Remember, the true battle is not fought in the external world, but within your own mind. So, think like Batman, and you will find the strength to navigate the chaos of life with confidence and clarity. He is responding to a threat. In fact, he is executing an action that has already been mentally processed. There is an invisible pause between the stimulus and the response, and it is in that pause that mental mastery occurs. The Stoics referred to this as the space between the event and the interpretation. Viktor Frankl, who survived the Nazi concentration camps, discovered this principle in a visceral way. He said that between the stimulus and the response, there is a space, and in that space lies our power to choose our response, and in our response lies our growth and our freedom. Batman lives in that space. When a villain attacks, when a bomb is about to explode, when someone he loves is in danger, there is a split second where he chooses how to respond, and it is this conscious choice that separates him from any ordinary criminal who acts on impulse. Thinking like Batman means creating that space in your own mind. When someone provokes you, you have a choice. When something goes wrong, you have a choice. When the pressure mounts, you have a choice. Most people do not realize that this choice exists, so they simply react automatically. But when you train your mind to pause, even if just for a second, you regain total control. You become the author of your actions, not the slave of your reactions. This strategy completely transforms the game of the mind because you stop being a hostage to external circumstances. No matter what happens around you, you always have control over how you respond internally. And it is this internal response that determines everything. Batman faces villains who use fear gas, perception-altering toxins, extreme psychological manipulation, but he always finds that space of choice, that millisecond of clarity where he can consciously decide how to act. And that is why he wins. Not because he is physically stronger, but because he is mentally stronger. He masters the game of the mind by playing on a completely different level. The Stoics also taught that you are never a victim of circumstances. You are only responsible for how you interpret and respond to them. Epictetus said that people are not disturbed by things, but by the opinions they have about those things. Batman embodies this perfectly. Gotham City is a hell of crime, corruption, chaos. But Batman does not see himself as a victim of Gotham. He sees himself as the agent of change. He chooses to interpret each challenge not as a paralyzing threat, but as a mission to be accomplished. This shift in interpretation is everything. It is what transforms suffering into purpose, fear into action, chaos into strategy. When you think like Batman, you stop asking, "Why is this happening to me?" and start asking, "How will I respond to this?" This simple change of question shifts the entire game. You reclaim your power because you recognize that even if you cannot control what happens, you always control the meaning you give to what happens and the actions you choose to take in response. The fifth and final Stoic strategy that makes Batman a master of the game of the mind is daily discipline and constant mental training. Here's the truth that no one wants to hear. Mental mastery is not a one-time event. It is a daily practice. Batman did not wake up one day with perfect emotional control. He trained for it every day for years. He meditates, he studies, he reflects, he prepares. The mind is like a muscle. If you do not train it, it atrophies. And if you train consistently, it becomes unbeatable. The Stoics practiced daily mental exercises. Marcus Aurelius wrote his meditations every night, not to publish, but to process his thoughts and strengthen his internal philosophy. Epictetus taught his students to review each day, analyzing where they acted according to Stoic principles and where they failed. Seneca recommended nightly reflection as an essential tool for growth. Batman does the same thing. After each mission, he analyzes what worked, what failed, how he can improve. He does not celebrate victories or drown in defeats. He simply extracts lessons and adjusts the strategy. This is mental discipline in action. Thinking like Batman means committing to daily mental training, not when you are inspired, but especially when you are not. Most people treat the mind as if it will automatically function well without any effort. They expect to have mental clarity, emotional control, absolute focus, but do nothing to develop those capabilities. It is like expecting to have muscles without ever lifting a weight. It does not work that way. Batman understands that mastering the game of the mind is the result of disciplined repetition. Every night he trains combat, but he also trains meditation. He trains the body, but he also trains the mind. And it is this combination that makes him unbeatable. When you establish a daily routine of mental training, something extraordinary happens. You stop being a hostage to your emotional states. You do not need to wait to feel motivated to act. You act because discipline is stronger than motivation. Motivation is temporary. Discipline is permanent. And the game of the mind is won by permanence, not by occasional bursts of inspiration. Batman does not save Gotham when he is inspired. He saves Gotham every day because his discipline is unbreakable. The Stoics also spoke of amor fati, which means love of fate. It is not just accepting what happens, it is fully embracing it, finding meaning and purpose in every obstacle. Batman transformed the worst night of his life, the death of his parents, into his greater purpose. He did not just accept that tragedy, he used it as fuel to build something greater than himself. This is amor fati at its deepest level. It is taking pain and transforming it into power. It is taking chaos and turning it into mission. It is taking what could have destroyed you and using it as the foundation of what you will build. Thinking like Batman means looking at the worst moments of your life and asking, how can this strengthen me? How can I use this to my advantage? What is the hidden lesson here? This shift in perspective is revolutionary because it transforms you from a victim into a protagonist. You stop being someone to whom bad things happen and become someone who uses every experience, good or bad, as building material for something greater. Batman also practices something that the Stoics deeply valued. Memento mori. Remember that you will die. This is not morbid, it is liberating. When you remember that your time is limited, you stop wasting it on insignificant things. Batman does not have time for unnecessary drama, gossip, inflated ego. He knows that each night could be the last, so every action must count. Every decision must be intentional. Every moment must have purpose. This is total mastery of the game of the mind because when you live with the awareness of death, you live with absolute intensity and focus. You stop procrastinating, stop complaining, stop wasting mental energy on nonsense. You act. Thinking like Batman is living as if each day matters because each day truly does matter. It is making decisions that your future self will thank you for. It is investing mental energy only in what truly has value. It is refusing to let the trivial consume the essential. Now you understand. Thinking like Batman has nothing to do with being a billionaire, having technological gadgets, or knowing martial arts. It has everything to do with mastering Stoic strategies to win the game of the mind. The dichotomy of control teaches you where to focus your energy. Strategic emotional detachment teaches you how to feel without being controlled. Preparing for the worst-case scenario teaches you how to eliminate surprises. Intentional action teaches you how to respond instead of react. And daily discipline teaches you that mastery is built every day, not in isolated moments. These 5 strategies transform any ordinary person into someone mentally unbeatable. You do not need to fight criminals in Gotham, but you have your own battles. You face pressure, face chaos, face doubts, face fear. And it is precisely there that these Stoic strategies make all the difference. When you master the game of the mind, you no longer need to defeat everyone around you. You just need to defeat the uncontrolled version of yourself. And when you win that internal battle, everything changes outside. Batman is a symbol, but you are real. And what is real always has more power than any symbol. So take these strategies, apply them in your life, train daily, and watch how you transform. You will stop reacting emotionally to everything. You will stop feeling like a victim of circumstances. You will start acting with clarity, purpose, and absolute control. This is thinking like Batman. This is mastering the game of the mind using Stoic strategies that have worked for over 2,000 years and continue to do so. Functioning today. If you have made it this far, you are already one step ahead. Now what is missing is just one thing: action. Because knowledge without application is an illusion. And you don't want to live in illusion, you want to live in mastery. So choose one of these 5 strategies today and start practicing it. Don't wait for the perfect moment because the perfect moment is now. Think like Batman, act like a Stoic, and master the game of the mind forever.